Not for children. I'm Smokey Daze Haze, the Dank Phoenix of comedy. And you're not! The funniest there was, the funniest there is, the funniest there ever will be. Dank, Frank, Shark, Shank, Skank, Skunk. Prepare for Schtick routine. Shank Week. Instead of Shark Week, with shark-related shows, this is basically true TV, prison shows. You know, all the networks could get in on it, like HBO and all of them. And you could have basically shows that are like for prison. So it's like Shank Busters would be like a Mythbusters style show, but it would be about shanks, like making them, which shanks are the best, like how do you make them, like they'd be manufacturing the shanks, they'd be crafting them, they'd be testing them, they'd be like, oh, is it better to use a toothbrush, is it better to use this, is it better to use that? Then you could also have Deadliest Shank, which would be like Deadliest Warrior meets Deadliest Catch, and they could be like Shanks versus armor, so they could test like, oh, can a toothbrush go through body armor? Could this go through that? Could this go through this? And they could have you making it and everything. Instead of like Shark After Dark, they could have Shanked in the Dark. They could have like footage of people being like stabbed in the showers and stuff like that. I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool. And then we could have like prison movies, like Against the Wall, which was basically, you know, Attica, and like, why do they sell soup in the commissary if there's no way to heat the shit up? Hot soup! Hot soup! Hot soup, motherfucker! I mean, Against the Wall, that was about Attica. It was a pretty good movie. I saw the version where it's got the guy from Dune in it. Then you have like an Omar Broadway film. The guy like smuggles the thing into like a maximum security prison in like New Jersey. And I'm thinking, how did they get the phone in there? Did the guy like stuff it up his ass and shit like that? So I mean, that's always pretty funny. And then you have Breakout, which is based on like David Kaplan, Joel David Kaplan. It's like a helicopter prison escape from Mexico. And it's got Dennis Quaid, or whatever his name is. He's always like playing like the strangest people. Then he does a distraction where he's like having sex. And Charles Bronson's like the helicopter pilot. And he like gets away and he like lands in the prison. And the guy's, the girl's husband, like he runs to the helicopter and they gotta like get out of there. I mean, that's definitely a classic movie. Then we have, we got Broke Down Palace, which had Danes and Beckinsale. And it's basically, it's funny because they did it and they had it like, they shot it in a place with mental patients and stuff. So they'd be like wailing during the scenes and they'd be like hurling shit and stuff because they'd have them like separated from the actresses and stuff. There's a lot of jacktastic feet in there though. I mean, there's a lot of bare feet, a lot of hot women feet. So, you know, some jack and jack and jack and jack and jack and jack, did you boo? But there's not really not much else into it. So, you know, Broke Down Palace, I'd be on a lot. Cool Hand Luke, the guy was like a war hero, and he goes to jail because he gets like drunk, because he's like, you know, he like breaks the meter or something like that. And the favorite part of that is like, what we have here is a failure to communicate. See, when this boy came here, his mind wasn't right. So we had to make his mind right. Woo! And there's like a part when they're watching this girl like wash a car, like Maybelline or something like that. She's barefoot and muddy, and like all the prisoners are on the chain gang, and they get like turned on. And Cool Hand Luke, he keeps like escaping, and they're like, next time you escape, we're gonna kill you and stuff. But he was like a war hero, and you see how that ended up. And then like another good movie is like Edmund. It's like there's like bar stories where he's like, you know, he's told like his fortune, he's not where he belongs. And the guy's telling him in the bar, he's like, remember, somebody listened. And Julia Stiles was in it. I used to have a thing for Julia Stiles. So he like kind of has her and he has like, he has sex with her and then he starts flipping out. She starts flipping out on him, so he like kills her or whatever. So he's in jail and he's telling this black guy who's always afraid of like black guys, and now he's in there. And he's like, you better get your body up on me. You better get your body up on me. So they become like a couple and stuff. Because, you know, he starts like fucking them and shit. So it's like pretty funny. Oh man, and then Escape from Alcatraz. That one's a tough one. They like, Duke like cuts off his fingers or something with a hatchet because they take like his paint and stuff like that. It's Clint Eastwood, and you're not sure if they escape or not. It's like Disambiguous, where you like see their remains, kinda, and you're like, oh well, they could have left that, so you think of this or that. And then Midnight Express. the guy's like trucking this hashish from Turkey, and it's like got the chase. It's like dun 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 dun, and he's like running, and he's smuggling the hash. He had all the hash around him, and he showed them they missed some hash. They were taking pictures and pissed him off. He's in the ward for like the insane, and his girlfriend like visits him, and he escapes. You know, depending on one way he escapes, the real way in the book, and another way, you know, they kind of dramatize it for the movie. Oh man, and then Shawshank Redemption. He's got the friggin' Raquel Welch poster. He gets the hammer. He gets the Rita Hayworth thing. He's got the sisters in there. But one of the best parts in there is like fresh fish. When the guy comes in, like fresh fish, fresh fish, fresh fish, fresh fish, fresh fish. So you know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. That's just like some of the movies they could do. There's a lot of movies that are really good. Then you could have like reality documentaries and programs like that. Like I Almost Got Away with It. My favorite one is like Steve Lamb, like On the Lam, Steve Lamb, who was like one of those big marijuana smugglers, and like they were about to bust him once. And like at one point he goes to Costa Rica and he's on the lam literally. He's like living in the jungles of Costa Rica, and he's like living like that. He'd smuggle like all this weed, and he was giving these people money, buying stuff for them, getting their roofs and everything. So he's really good. Some scumbag ratted him out. So he's like about to do this big drug deal, and he's got this truck, and he realizes something's wrong, so he gets out of the truck. Because he's like, he realized the truck had no radio. He's like, where's the radio? So that's how he knew. That's how he knew like something was up. Oh man. And then you have Locked Up Abroad, which is really called Banged Up Abroad. So you go abroad, you're going to get banged up. And Simone Starr, she was this meth model. And she was like smuggling shit. You know, most people like spies, so they escape, you know, from, you know, they escape drugs or whatever like this. But like, I could never be a drug mule, man. That's why like this coral calcium tablet, I couldn't pass the thing for shit. And people like swallowing these condoms and doing all this other stuff. But the Simone Starr was funny. She was like mailing drugs and meth and shit, and she had like this fucking fake thing that they were like a fucking, you know, that they're fucking selling like cosmetics or something. Oh man. Then you got Escape at Santa Maria. They have like sex in the garments area. The girl's like having sex with the inmates. Hey, Sweat, can you help me with this for a few minutes? So she's fucking him, and the other guy starts fucking him, and he's showing like the other guy's Sweat or whatever the guy's name. He shows him like a pet picture, and he's like, oh, you know, it looks pretty good to me. And he's like, where's the light coming on? Where's the shadows? Where's the light? So like pretty, you know, it shows like how you need that. So when they escape, it's funny. The one guy, he told him, don't drink the water, don't drink the water, don't be stupid. So he drinks this rancid water, and he goes to break into use the toilet. And it's like, you would think if you're going to break into use the toilet, you're not going to break it into the toilet, because then the glass is going to be all over the bathroom. But he breaks it right in there. So the guy was so stupid, then he's like running around with dysentery. Yeah. He didn't last that long. Then you have Scared Straight, Beyond Scared Straight. It's got Kool-Aid. The guy like puts Kool-Aid on his lips. And he's like, he puts Kool-Aid on his lips. He's like, I put Kool-Aid on there. When you kiss me, you're going to be sweet. You're going to be sweet like an orange. You're going to be sweet like an orange, motherfucker. Oh, man. And then it's like, they take people's sneakers. They fucking, you're going to comb my chest here, motherfucker. You're going to comb my chest here. Here's my belt loop. You're going to have my belt loop and shit. Oh, man. And then it's just fucking so fucking funny. Then they have like this one kid, and it's girls, and they're going to try to punch the guard. She tries to punch the guard, and like she misses and shit. Oh man, because they're like going to him, another kid, they have him in there at like 2 a.m., and they're waking him up, he's like crying and stuff, and they can't even be serious because the kid's like so pathetic. Oh man. Then you have Jail 60 Days In. The tater tots are like currency, so they always have like stuff over that. There's like a toilet paper fight. They put like these people in, they volunteer to go into the prisons. They have these kangaroo courts where they get beat up. Lace up means like they're going to get their asses beat because they put like their sneakers on and shit. So it's like pretty funny though. These people volunteer to go into it, and they think it's fucking like going to work. Then you got Lockdown. America's Hardest Prisons is not like, oh! No, it's like cups of pee, shit like that. They're throwing at you. Gangster Fights, Vonda. Then Oz, my favorite Oz, when he does the long nails, he like slices the guys up. He's like, ah!